everyone. I'm Katrina Adams.
And I am Hannah Betts, and we are Highlight Pro Skydiving Team.
The right of citizens of the United States to vote shall not be denied or abridged by the United States or any state on account of sex.
What a better time to be celebrating the centennial by attempting some historic jumps. And hopefully that will encourage people to then learn more about the history of the women's suffrage movement and the 19th Amendment.
I love skydivers celebrating the centennial to take to the sky and use their skills and knowledge, portray the strength and the organizational potential of women.
How cool is it that we get to jump into Nashville, Tennessee, the 36th and final state to ratify the 19th Amendment 100 years ago today?
We want to show that everybody can do it and help everybody get into the sport. We want to show them that they can. We want to keep raising that bar of equality within the sport and equality at large. Welcome everybody to Nashville, Tennessee. We are the Highlight Pro Skydiving Team.
Here today, doing a demonstration jump celebrating and elevating women's suffrage and equality.
One of our biggest goals today is to encourage everyone to understand that they need to exercise their right to vote. Use your voice. Use your vote. Welcome, everyone. We are here to celebrate and honor the 100th centennial anniversary of the 19th Amendment. Today, we are here in Nashville. This date, 100 years ago, when Tennessee became the final state needed to ratify the right to vote for women in America, securing them that opportunity. Given our current world, we are fully honoring COVID-19 safety, staying socially distant, while bringing you the best possible coverage of this day. Highlight Pro Skydiving Team's mission is to inspire women and girls to live brave, bold lives of their own design. And specifically in 2020, we are here to champion people to use their voice and to use their vote.
Absolutely, and just so you know a little bit more about us, Katrina is a former professional tennis player and a badass former president of the United States Tennis Association and a sports analyst.
And Hannah is a former professional skydiver as well as a full-time stunt woman in Hollywood.
And I think right now we're going to see a short video of how the skydiving team came together.
This is for all women!
The inception of the team was one of those things where it was just an idea. The Women's Skydiving Network started to reach out to just be curious about how we could potentially use skydiving to celebrate the centennial anniversary of the 19th Amendment. Now we're doing jumps across the country for all different kinds of messages that make a difference.
We see it in skydiving a lot. We're a very small percentage of skydivers. We're only 13% of all skydivers in the US.
It's actually the message that really brought us in. Get women to come in and hopefully live that bold, brave life of their own.
It just speaks volumes for what women can do, even if it's in a majority male-dominated arena. Those 12 or 13% are pretty badass. Awesome to show everyone from little girls to 100-year-old women that we can do it too.
I enjoy teams of all sorts with all different types of people, but having the women is really special together, and there's something really cool about the way we all communicate together. This particular group of women is really awesome because everybody brings a very high level of skydiving skill and experience.
To get to do these like intricate and technical jumps, it's really, it keeps me going. This team with all these friends of mine that I've been working with and admiring for so many years, all of us together. I mean, it's just like, it blows my mind that we're all on a team together.
What I think is so cool about Highlight and what we're doing, we're talking about how many rights women didn't have.
The idea of there was a time where I couldn't have voted it's mind-blowing. It is really a precious, precious right that we have.
We need to use our voice and use our vote in order to secure the future and the leaders that we want.
Oh, that video gives me goosebumps. Katrina, you know what it's like to free fall. You've done a skydive, am I right?
Yes, I was pushed from the plane by one of these badass women that we will see later today.
Love it.
As a tandem instructor, but it was an amazing experience. I was flying through the sky, soaring like a bird. It was thrilling, it was exhilarating, and if I can do it, anyone can do it.
And would you do it again?
I absolutely would.
So awesome. And it's so cool that you got to do, your instructor was Kerry, who we're going to be seeing in the sky shortly, which is why we're here today at the dedication of the Tennessee Woman Suffrage Monument, honoring the bold, brave women who fought for 72 years to secure the right for women to vote in America. And to commemorate, Highlight Skydiving Team is going to be doing a spectacular, large-scale demonstration jump show. The team consists of 11 of the most elite professional skydiving women in the country, and they're in a plane right now getting ready to jump. Soon they'll be right above us, exiting the aircraft, opening their parachutes, and flying large flags and smoke, all in the colors of the original suffrage movement.
Well, women currently only represent 13% of the skydiving population. And this sport is not alone, where there is underrepresentation in so many areas of business, sport, media, government, and the list goes on. All the more reason we are happy to be here today to use skydiving and our skills to highlight the social and equity causes like promoting women's rights to vote.
Absolutely. And we want to be clear that as a team, we fully understand that the 19th Amendment realistically only paved the way for white women to vote. Yes, technically the law said all women, but the harsh reality is that it wasn't until decades later with the Voting Rights Act of 1965 that men and women of color in America could truly exercise their right to vote. As a team, we stand with our brothers and sisters of color in the ongoing fight to end racist, systemic racism and racist acts in our country. We must learn history, but more importantly, we must learn from history and take note of the decades of struggle that the suffragists endured, but really recognize that in the case of racial justice, this was centuries, not decades. So, as a way to see real change and hear the voices of all, we encourage everyone to use their vote as a way of amplifying their voice. The suffragist story of perseverance, bravery, tenacity, and courage was so inspiring, but it was not without undertones of racism, and the history has been written from a predominantly white perspective. But today, in 2020, this team stands for equality and equity for all. And for us, skydiving is that physical manifestation of being bold and brave.
Yes, and I'm excited to be here today to celebrate with the Highlight Team, skydiving team, to honor this very important date in history.
It is, and I think that our skydivers are getting close to jumping.
Ooh.
I know. I feel more nervous sitting here than I would if I was up in the plane jumping with them.
I know the feeling of having to scoot to the end of that plane and jump out. Well, in my case, be pushed out.
Oh my goodness. So I think right now I can hear the plane above us. So they're probably about to come up on their final jump run.
No, it's exciting. So tell me what the jumpers are thinking about right now. What are they doing?
Well, this isn't really your standard skydive. They're going to be jumping with a lot of extra equipment. And some of these flags that they're flying are really big, and they're giant containers strapped to their chest that hold the flag. So they'll be doing a bunch of equipment checks right now. They got to check their rigs, their equipment, the smoke on their ankles, the flags on their ankles, so they can just feel ready, calm, and focused, ready for the job at hand.
Well, that's a lot of equipment. So how much extra weight are they carrying?
Some of these women are going to be carrying at least an extra 20, 30 pounds. So they definitely going to be jumping kind of bigger parachutes to slow their descent down.
Well, they've never jumped in Nashville before, or at this location for that matter. So what kind of parachutes will they be using to help guide them down to hit their target?
So the ladies will be jumping what's called ram air parachutes, which are fully steerable. They're not like the old parachutes where it was just get out and hope for the best. So they can steer the parachutes, but it still takes a lot of skill and expertise and experience to land right here on target. Flying a parachute isn't like flying a plane where if you don't like the look of your final approach, you have an engine, you can go up and try it again. A parachute, once it's open, is only coming down. So once you're out, you're fully committed. So you have to nail it. And we're in downtown Nashville. We're not surrounded by fields everywhere. So they got to get it right.
Absolutely. Now, we are here for a special reason, but they are doing, it's a show.
Yes.
So they'll be doing some stunts and acrobats in the air. Are many of these women stunt women as well?
A bunch of us have done some aerial stunt work. Our co-captain, Amy Chemetlecki, did this really super gnarly round parachute jump off a platform for the movie The Mummy. Sarah Curtis has done a badass scene that I'm not allowed to talk about in an upcoming motion picture. Watch out for her. Melanie Curtis, I'm pretty sure I have seen her eating a hamburger in free fall for a burger commercial. So a lot of stunts are going on. And this in itself is kind of a stunt. You know, they have to get it right. There's only one chance. And even when they're doing this spectacular show, the women are constantly figuring out what the winds are doing and making adjustments so that they can land right here.
Well, they haven't landed here before, as we mentioned.
Yeah.
How much training goes into this team going into formation and nailing it?
The special thing about this team is it really is some of the best skydivers in the country. And I think the average number of skydives that these women have, we have about 10,000 skydives each on average. Wow. So it's just gaining that level of experience to know how to deal with all the different conditions. We have trained this equipment. We have trained, the formations that we're going to land, but ultimately it just comes down to time, repetition. I'm sure the same way you got your serve so good, just over and over again,
Absolutely.
Right?
Practice makes perfect.
Exactly. And it sounds like we're about 2 minutes away.
Oh, I love it. Well, you know what? I'm excited to have you down here with me giving this presentation as opposed to you being a part of the team. Do you miss being up there today?
I do, but I always like a challenge. Everyone thinks it's hilarious that I was so nervous about doing this than I was jumping out. So it's just all perspective of what we consider to be brave, right? For me, this is a really brave thing to do.
Well, this is one of many events that we've seen in Nashville commemorating. This is a huge day for the state of Tennessee in recognizing the centennial anniversary of the 19th Amendment. And we are so proud to be here to bring this message to you and to encourage each of you to use your voice and to use your vote. Make sure you get out and register so that what these ladies are doing today really resonates with all.
It does. And one vote makes all the difference.
Well, we know that from Harry Byrne, right?
Yeah. Why we're celebrating today, the vote came down to one vote of one man. So
Harry Byrne, he listened to his mother. Listen, men, listen to your mother.
Exactly.
Okay?
If it wasn't for her, we might not have had the right to vote.
That's right. He changed his vote in the final moments to ratify the 19th Amendment. So this is thrilling for us to be a part of this.
It was literally down to the final hour. So your vote does count. Don't think it doesn't. So they're telling me we see the plane right up there. That means they're on final jump run. The door will be opening. Kaz and Allison are out first. And they're going to be flying super fast parachutes coming in hot. And they're going to be flying the smoke So they're probably literally climbing out right now. They're right above us. It's so exciting. And you're going to get live feed footage of that when they are out. I'll tell you a little bit about the first jumpers. Kaz, she has 10,000 skydives. She's from New York. She's a professional skydiver. She's a canopy coach, a pilot coach, a photographer. She has 12 national championships. Ooh. And she's competed for the Australian team 5 times at World Championships and Cups. And we have jumpers away. So what you're looking at right now is live feed from
right
one of our
us.
jumpers. So she has a good parachute. They're both parachutes out. It's so exciting. So with Kaz is Allison, and she has 9,500 jumps. This is Allison Ray. She's from Florida, and this lady is a badass. She test jumps parachutes before they're available for the public to buy. She literally researches the parachutes, which to me is slightly insane, but
that is a little insane,
she's a
but
badass.
that's true passion.
I know. And they're
over your right shoulder.
Oh, okay. So we've got Melanie and Lou out, and they're going to be flying the 1920 to 2020 flags.
Yes, the 1920 to 20 flags representing the 100 years from when the right to vote was secured in America today. Again, encourage everyone who is watching to take notice of this history, to imagine a time when women could not use their voice, when women did not have a say in government, in finances, times when women were considered the property of their husbands. And compare that with today, with so much we have achieved in the fight for equality across the board, and learning from history and the present day, acknowledging how much more we have to go. So to honor this struggle and to engage in making the changes you want to see, let's all get to the polls. Let's all use our voice and use our vote. It's so easy to register. Just Google it.
It is so easy. There's no excuse. It's not a complicated process to register to vote. So up there right now, and we will get you, hey, here's some live footage. It's so cool. We've got the smoke of Allison and Kaz, and then we've got Melanie and Karen flying those flags. Karen Lewis, we like to call her Lou. She's from California. She is, listen to this, she's a professional skydiver, a photographer, a registered nurse, a Bachelor of Science in Nursing, and a mother of 4. I'm not making that profile up.
No, not at all.
And Melanie Curtis, our co-captain, she has 11,000 skydives also. She's from New Jersey. This woman is a life coach, a speaker, a published author, and a professional skydiver. It's so awesome to see them because they are my teammates, and I've competed with them, and it's just awesome to watch them fly. There's Kaz and Allison and their fast parachutes.
It's so beautiful to see them
here
soar.
They come right now, landing.
Whistling
Formation
in.
landing right behind us there,
It's
Katrina.
amazing.
Look here.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Woo!
Nice. Absolutely
Awesome.
nailed it. Allison got a little bit of verbal from the tents over there, and she handled it so well. That was fantastic. Those parachutes are small and fast. And now we've got live footage from Lou, and that's Melanie in front of her flying the 1920 flags.
Yeah, and you can
There
see
we
them
go.
soaring in, making the turn, and just gliding through the sky as they are descending down to their target.
So awesome. They're flying such a great formation right there.
And to be able to see those flags in the sky from the ground and people all around Nashville wondering what is happening, but they can recognize that the 1920 to 2020 flags are commemorating the 19th Amendment that was ratified here in Tennessee 100 years ago to this date.
Okay, so it sounds like we may or may not have lost the feed. I'm not sure, but okay, no, we're back. It's good. But they will have it fully online later. If for some reason you're not capturing what we're seeing, we're going to have it all online later. But it sounds like we're back. And here we go, Melanie and Lou coming in for a perfect landing right there.
Awesome.
Fantastic.
That
Nailed
is
it.
beautiful.
Yes. Oh, so stoked. So 4 out of 8 of the women are down. And I think next out we will have... they're out. Maxine
They are out.
and Kerry.
There we go. And
They've got the smoke
And
lines.
they'll be carrying these amazing smoke lines being flown by Carrie and Maxine. I mentioned Carrie was my badass tandem instructor. Carrie Bell has over 13,000 jumps. She's from Seattle, Washington. Not only is she a skydiver, she's a drop zone owner, a mother of 3. She's an instructor examiner, a pilot, and holds world records. Maxine Tate has over 8,500 jumps. She's from the USA and the UK. Not only is she a Highlight Pro Skydiving Team member, she's a professional skydiver and coach, a Team USA Speed Skydiving champion, and she holds 3 world records, 3 European records, and 3 national champions.
Those women are honestly legends, and you're going to see those smoke lines soon. They're just setting up in formation before they trigger. Literally, they fire these smoke lines. There's a lot going on right now, and when they come out, it's so beautiful. And up there, we have the large flags as well, and Melissa is flying the Votes for Women flag, and you're going to get a good look at that soon. But what's so cool about this flag is it is modeled after the banners that the original suffragists used in their efforts to secure the vote. And the Votes for Women campaign, guys, it was strategically run by its leaders, consistently wielding the press and protests to amplify their message and motivate political leaders to support their cause. These women were known as the Silent Sentinels, and they were the first women ever to peacefully protest outside the White House. They would stand there day in, day out, through sunny skies, rain and snow, standing for their cause and letting their actions speak. You've got to remember, guys, these women, they faced arrest. They even faced torture in the United States prisons, and they would not let anything stop them from securing the 19th Amendment's passage. It's so inspiring.
Yes, and Melissa Nelson Lowe has over 11,000 jumps. She's from Colorado. She's a skydiver, a keynote speaker, a yoga instructor, and author. She has 23 world records, 7 national titles in 3 different disciplines, and is a third-generation skydiver.
She is an absolute legend in our sport, Melissa. And look at these smoke lines that we've got right now. That is no joke.
And what Hannah is carrying, right?
She'll be there in a second.
All right.
But we got Hannah.
Hannah is out.
Hannah. Lastly but not least, we have Hannah. She's flying the Vote Canopy and the Shall Not Be Denied flag. She has 2,000 skydives. She's from Illinois. And check this out. She's a project manager for a well drilling company, a commercial grain farmer, and she's a private pilot. She actually flew herself out here.
There you go. And the phrase on her flag is the actual language in the 19th Amendment. The right of citizens of the United States to vote shall not be denied or abridged by the United States or any state on account of sex. Exactly, as it shouldn't be.
Yep.
And look at them fly.
It's so awesome. And check out Maxine and Kerry with these smoke lines. It's no joke. They're about 25 feet long, those lines. They really have to think ahead. There's a lot of trees coming into landing. They can't forget that they've got an extension of themselves.
Oh,
it looks
beautiful.
So beautiful. They'll be setting up for their final landing soon. And again, landing with these big parachutes and those smoke lines is pretty technical. It's not the same as just doing your average skydive.
And to watch them come as if they're just going for a run when they land, it's just beautiful to watch. So poetic in their movement in the sky. And then as they get on the ground with such grace as we've seen earlier. And I'm looking forward to seeing these two come down.
Here they come. So I believe this is Kerry down first.
We will find out. I believe it is.
She's setting up for landing. We have a phrase in our team called "Be calm like Kerry." Nothing phases this woman.
Awesome.
There comes
and
that smoke line, and like a boss, just sets it down. Fantastic.
Beautifully,
yeah,
beautifully executed.
So good. And then, do we have Maxine? I can't see
coming
her
down
right now.
Right above.
There she is. She's right above me.
So Maxine's
there
coming
she
in.
is. She's coming in for a final approach as well. Flying over the beautiful museum. Okay, Maxine. You got this.
She's bringing it
so
down.
she's on deep brakes right now. She's just setting up for her landing. She's going for some accuracy right here.
Here we go.
Get it, Maxine. Fantastic.
Well done. Beautiful, beautiful.
Nailed it. I think I got that the wrong order. I think that was Kerry and Maxine before.
That's all right.
All right. And finally, we've still got these amazing flags. These are two of our smallest team members up there with the biggest flags. Hannah's only 5 feet tall.
That's
but
right.
Size does not matter in this sport, guys.
And just to reiterate, she is carrying the shall not be denied flag.
Yeah, and the vote canopy.
And that language, again, was the actual language of the 19th Amendment.
Yeah, and that flag that Melissa is flying is literally modeled after the original banners that the suffragists used, which is pretty special. These girls have been training hard with these flags. They are not easy to fly. They slow your parachute down by about a third of your normal forward speed, so they have to take that into consideration when they're setting up their landing. Because they're small women, they're also very light, so they really have to think about not getting pushed around by the wind too much.
Well, guess what? That's why they're professionals, and they're the ones that are out there doing this to be able to execute this landing perfectly.
And this is Melissa. It looks like she's coming on her downwind leg, and she'll be setting up. And this is the crucial moment when you kind of go onto your base leg. This is when you're committed.
Right.
Yeah. So.
And this is when you use your skill and your knowledge.
Exactly.
And repetition and knowing how to bring this down.
Skill, and Melissa is doing a great job here, just showing off that flag. Votes for women. Hell yeah.
That's right. They can see it all across Nashville as she's coming in for her landing.
Fantastic. She's at about 500 feet right now. Flying in. Oh, it looks so great. And yes.
Beautiful.
Nailed it.
Yes.
Good job, Melissa.
Yes. That's not easy with that flag. That flag is huge.
Yeah. You don't realize how big it is until they get close to you. And then last but not least, we still have Hannah up there flying that vote canopy. And guys, remember, this is an awesome skydiving show, but our mission here is to make sure that you feel like you have a voice, and to have a voice, you can go out and vote and use it. These women didn't suffer and get tortured in prison for you not to vote.
Right. So if you haven't registered, please go online, Google it, find out where you can register to vote. It's so easy, and make sure you show up to the polls in November, or any election for that matter.
Exactly, your local elections, not just the national elections. So it looks like Hannah now is finally coming on. Yep, she's on her downwind leg. She's going to be flying kind of just over these trees, flying the shall not be denied flag.
I am so motivated by these ladies that are really giving this beautiful display to encourage everyone to go out, register to vote, and then vote.
And here we go. Here's Hannah just setting up for a final landing. Awesome. Final approach. She's at about 200 feet, flaring the canopy to slow herself down and putting it down and doing a good old PLF for measure. So in true 2020 form, this place was supposed to be grass, and now it's dirt. So she had a little bit of a trip on some of the dirt mounds right there.
But all right. She's waving.
Awesome,
she's good. She's good. It's a little rocky out there, so
that ain't
probably
nothing.
stumbled on one of the rocks. That's perfectly fine.
Good job,
but
Hannah.
That was absolutely awesome, safe and inspiring flying and landing by every one of our skydivers today.
So awesome.
Right now, our highlight co-captain, Melissa Curtis, is now stepping up to the podium with the Tennessee Women's Suffrage Monument dedication event to say a few words in support and solidarity. And this monument stands 7 feet tall with 5 of many courageous women who fought the fight for us.
Yeah, the monument's really beautiful. I think we're going to interview a couple of our team members right now. Karen Lewis. Lou. Hi, Lou.
Hi, how are you?
I'm very good. Hey, how did that feel? What does this jump mean to you?
This jump means everything to me. There is so many parts of this that came together, from the teamwork, the vision, just each member on the team has their own niche and specialty, and we really work together. Everyone's a true professional on the team, and just to be here on the day of the 100th centennial, celebrating the women's right to vote, is truly, truly epic.
I
So.
love it. And Lou, were you more nervous jumping out of the plane or speaking on a microphone right now?
Speaking on the microphone for sure.
I knew it.
Yeah.
You're done. You're
That's
good.
it?
Yeah.
That's all you got?
We're going to get Melissa. Is she here? Oh, she's
Yeah,
there.
Melissa's
Well,
pulling
let's
her
get
parachute
let's
up
get
right
Maxine
now.
first then. Yeah. Yeah. We'll do a little, yep, come on in, Max.
Thank you. Thanks, Liz.
Hi,
Good
my
morning,
dear.
ladies.
How was that?
It was quite fabulous getting out over this beautiful city for such an occasion, especially flying the colours, the smoke colours of the suffragists. Was very special, actually, very moving.
It looked incredible, Maxine.
Thank you.
I
It's a
bet
joy.
you were relieved when all the smoke's fired, right?
Yes, it's always good when the equipment works, and then we just have to do as well as the equipment, so hopefully we did.
You did. It looked amazing. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Our pleasure, really.
So proud of you guys. Can we get Melissa? And when we see Melissa, it gives you an idea of how big that parachute was. It's bigger than her.
Melissa, awesome. Glad you're over here.
Yay!
So how did it feel jumping for this cause?
It is so amazing to think 100 years ago, women from around the nation were gathering here to support the 19th Amendment. And today I get to celebrate and commemorate it in the sport that I absolutely love, to honor that history and to hopefully inspire people to go out and vote.
Wonderful. That's awesome. Now I think Melanie is she back?
Yeah, she's
Melanie,
here.
come on over. Thanks,
All
Melissa.
right.
Melanie is our co-captain. She's been busy between flying and speaking and now representing the team. Melanie, awesome job. Welcome.
Wow,
How proud
guys.
are you of this moment?
I just seriously, and I just got choked up over there. I feel so much gratitude for those women standing in that statue, for all that they did for us, and every obstacle that they had to overcome to make possible what we really, at least for me, I so took for granted, and so from that, I personally source so much inspiration. I never really cared about civics. I never really cared about it much, and so to be learning this history and to be connecting to the real women and what they actually did, that just, it really bowls me over in a really beautiful way. And so that's why all that you guys have been saying the whole time, use your voice, use your vote, that is real, man. So that's what I'd like to leave it on.
Well, thanks for believing in this. And really this started about 18 months ago for you and
that's
planning,
right.
and this day has happened. So we are excited, and thank you so much. Thank you. So while we get back suited up here, wow, what a show, Hannah. This was amazing. But we are so thankful to our partner organizations that help make today possible. Of course, the Tennessee Women's Suffrage Monument and the Women's Suffrage Centennial Commission and their boards, who really made this possible for everyone involved. And we want to thank you all for tuning in today. As we've said a number of times, we want to honor and learn from history and be inspired by it. And with this live feed, we are sharing our website where you can register to vote and learn more about how to exercise your right to vote in your area.
Absolutely. And I think if today has shown us anything, it's that we never know what we're capable of until we go out there and do it. We never know what's possible until we try. And if you thought skydiving was never for you, well, maybe it is.
Of course it is. If I can do it, you can do it.
So if you're a little more curious about skydiving now, please feel free to reach out to us on our Facebook page directly or via our website, highlightskydiving.com, and we'll happily put you in contact with a local skydiving center so you can find out how you can go about making your first skydive.
And we will see you at the polls in November. So lean in, use your voice, and use your vote. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you for joining us.